Supreme Court to hear controversial case on gender-affirming care for trans minors. The U.S. Supreme Court is preparing to hear U.S. v. Skrmetti, a case challenging Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. The hearing date is yet to be set, but legal experts predict it will draw widespread attention. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, which represents families challenging the ban, expects the court to schedule the case for December. The controversy began in March of 2023 when Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signed Senate Bill 1 into law, prohibiting surgeries, puberty blockers, and hormone treatments for individuals under 18 seeking gender transition. In response, 3 families with transgender children filed a federal lawsuit. They argue that the law violates the U.S. Constitution's equal protection and due process guarantees, as well as Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act, which prohibits sex discrimination in health care. The case has escalated to the Supreme Court after a series of lower court rulings. Initially, a district court blocked the law, but the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed that decision. Now the plaintiffs are seeking intervention from the High Court. The Biden administration Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar has urged the court to take up the case. The case will test how far the court is willing to go, the logic of the Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade. The plaintiffs have received support from a wide range of organizations, including the American Bar Association, Planned Parenthood, and the American Academy of Pediatrics, while Tennessee has also garnered support through numerous briefs. As the hearing approaches, the case will be a key indicator of how the court balances religious, political, and medical perspectives regarding transgender rights. Oof, it is, you know,
back to reality.
Let me, because not only the transgender community, but women are suffering right now.
Absolutely.
Women in general are suffering, and part of it is because white women and some people didn't show up to vote in 2016. And that is the reality. And because of that, we have Supreme Courts that are super ultra conservative, and we can't let this happen. We have to make sure that if we want women's rights, LGBTQ rights, transgender folks' rights protected, we have to make sure that we elect the right people this election. And so there's could be 2 or 3 more Supreme Court justices that leave the court in the next 2-3 years, and whoever gets elected as president gets to appoint them.
Now, I'm hoping that some Supreme Court justices retire. Hey, Clarence Thomas, you know you don't want the job anymore. But, like, in all seriousness, like, not to get too much into, like, the old elections, but, like, I say this whenever I'm, like, advising Democrats. You have to give people a reason to vote for you. And, like, I loved Hillary, but a lot of people didn't have a reason to vote for her. And, you know, there are consequences to that. This particular case really scares me, I'll be honest, because the Supreme Court has been very clear that they are completely okay with the government deciding that they know better than doctors. So I'm really scared for these families. I'm scared for queer kids and trans kids in Tennessee.
It's like at this point, enough is enough.
Exactly. It's like
but it's just really
better.
Beginning,
but
you know, so that's what's really scary. You know, it's you mentioned a really important percentage of humans who didn't show up to the polls, and it's not like you're just saying it because to say it, it was statistically proven, you know, and this election is so important. So I don't know how many different languages we can say it from this roundtable, how many different times, but please, you said October 24th was the last day to
request a vote by mail ballot. And also, here's the thing, it's like we have this political purity amongst Democrats, that if it's not perfect, we won't vote for the person. In the meantime, the Republicans are voting for a criminal.
He has a big personality.
But of course, none of that affects the fact that this court is the current court. And I really just cannot overemphasize that maybe the sex discrimination issue, they might actually be decent on and side with that. But if they in any way take it in a similar direction as Dobbs, like I'm just terrified.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Don't hold your breath.